What's up, family? There are some new tax proposals that could affect millions of Americans, and I'm talking about low-income families, seniors, elderly individuals, and Social Security recipients. Check this out right here, where yesterday President Biden unveiled a massive $7.3 trillion budget that includes $5.5 trillion in tax cuts, plans for the highest burden in U.S. history. Yes, we are talking about President Biden, in which you already know he is on his last year of his full 4-year term, and he is starting to make a little bit of changes because he is also the candidate for the 2024 presidential election. And yes, President Biden unveiled his election year budget pitch on Monday, calling for $5.5 trillion in tax increases by raising taxes and rates on the wealthy and corporations, while spending $7.3 trillion on defense, federal budget programs, and affordable housing, as well as student debt cancellations. Yes, we've talked about that millions of times, but anyways, those are just some of the few that are included in this huge amount in regards to his latest budget proposal. Now, the fiscal year of 2025 budget, which is highly unlikely to be approved by Congress, matches last year's top line tax increase level and spends about $300 billion more, while purportedly cutting the federal deficit by $3 trillion over the next 10 years, according to the White House. Now, again, the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget noted that the Office of Management and Budget Estimates project, the national debt would surge by $45.1 trillion, or around 105% of the gross domestic product, or better known as the GDP, by the year of 2034. Now, what does this mean? I know that was a lot of jargon, but let me go ahead and break it down to you a little bit more clear. Nearly 3 million people, Americans, will have their taxes raised under this new plan by President Biden. Yes, we are talking about this latest plan, the budget proposal, which seeks to increase taxes on nearly 3 million top earning Americans in this country, as well as he wants to roll back some of the Trump era tax cuts for the wealthy as well. But I will say that if the former President Donald Trump ends up winning the next presidential election, he'll probably bringing those Trump era tax cuts back again, as well as some new tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations, because it does benefit him and a lot of his best friends and so forth. So anyways, President Biden wants to roll those back, which means that they're going to be rolling some of the taxes back for these wealthy individuals. But what does it do for the low income families? We'll talk about that in just a moment. But anyways, like I said, under this new budget proposal, this is for fiscal year 2025, so not just yet, but I will say that these might not necessarily affect people, because I don't necessarily assume that President Biden will be winning the nomination for the next president of this country. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me that he will not be the next president? Let me know how you feel about this down below in the comment section, as well as hit that like button for me. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, in regards to what could potentially happen next year in regards to our low-income families, our seniors, our elderly individuals, as well as our Medicare recipients and Social Security recipients, let's go ahead and touch on it right here, where recently the former president Donald Trump said that if he is nominated to be the next president, he said that he's actually open to making a little bit of cuts towards Medicare and Social Security. Now, again, I will remind you that previously he reached out to some of the GOP Republicans and told them that, hey guys, do not touch Social Security at all. Leave it like it is. We need to make sure that we are in the House. We win over the Senate and the House coming this November. He told his Republicans, don't go towards and try to add these cuts against Medicare and Social Security. He said, leave it like it is, because he didn't necessarily want to rock the boat. However, it looks like he is doing a little bit of flip-flopping. And now he said that he is actually open to the idea of providing more cuts to Medicare recipients benefits and Social Security benefits as well. But anyways, it says right here that the former president Donald Trump said on Monday that he was suggesting that he was actually open to making some cuts to Social Security and Medicare after opposing touching the entitlement programs and attacking his GOP presidential primary rivals over this particular issue. Now, Trump was asked in an interview with CNBC recently whether he had changed his outlook on how to handle the entitlement programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid in order to tackle the national debt. Well, he said this in a statement. Look, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of these entitlement programs. What does that mean? Well, we don't necessarily know, but I can only imagine what Trump has in store if and when he becomes the next president next year. But anyways, he said that there's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things that you can do to these entitlement programs. So anyways, as you can see, he left this pretty vague because he wants to leave the door open to see what type of responses he receives in regards to this particular statement and who actually comes after him. What does his other colleagues have to say about this option of providing these cuts to these particular programs? This could affect millions of our seniors and our elderly individuals. We are talking about those individuals that are on Social Security, such as SSI, SSDI, VA beneficiaries, our seniors, our elderly individuals, all of the above. This could affect millions out there. So again, what can we make of this? Well, we won't know until the former president Donald Trump actually comes out with his particular plan and what he wants to do to these entitlement programs. But I will go ahead and tell you that it does not look pretty. I will say that for years and years and years, the GOP Republicans have tried to place new cuts on Social Security, even though the Social Security Trust Fund is projected to run out of money by the year of 2033. They are still trying to add more cuts to these programs, which we all know that they don't even provide enough money as it is. So I can't even imagine the idea of cutting some of the benefits from these specific programs. Yes, this is going to affect a lot of people out there. I personally don't understand how they will be able to live with less benefits. I mean, some Social Security recipients are receiving as less as $23 per month. Now, I know for myself, when I go to the grocery store with $23, I can only buy 2, maybe 3 different items. How can I survive with food worth $23 for an entire month, let alone $23 to last me for an entire week? So anyways, providing more cuts to these programs, I don't necessarily see it, guys. It seems kind of drastic, if you will. And just even looking back at our summer EBT program, you saw where a lot of states have actually cut out the summer EBT program for providing the additional benefits for the children ages 6 and under who are low income families. They have already cut that out in about 15 different states. So now you want to cut funding for our Medicare recipients and our Social Security recipients. Say it ain't so, guys. Say it ain't so. But on the flip side, President Biden is not necessarily trying to do anything for them as well. We've talked about that multiple times before he became the president, and then while he was president for the last 3 years or so, and still no type of action from the president at all. So again, we have 2 candidates that are the front runners for the 2024 presidential election, and neither one of them are fighting for additional benefits for our seniors, for our elderly, for Medicare, for our school children that are low income families. None of them. They are not fighting for additional benefits for any of them. So what does that mean? We don't have another choice in regards to who we can vote for when it comes to November of this year. So in the meantime, guys, we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed, as well as continue to send prayers up, because we have got to fix this problem. This particular program is going to run out of money within the next 10 years or so. And now they are wanting to provide additional cuts to the benefits. Guys, I don't even know what to say about this. Just makes me sad altogether. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is actually possible? Do you think that the former president Donald Trump will actually push to have more cuts added to Social Security and Medicare? If you do, comment down below and let me know how you feel about this. I would love to get your thoughts on this. But anyways, like I said, Trump said this in regards to Social Security and Medicare, that he will be open to the idea of having more cuts to these specific entitlement programs. However, he did say that there are some other things that we can do to these entitlement programs as well. But again, he was very vague in regards to his response on CNBC. So we'll just have to see as we get closer to the November election timeframe to see whether or not he is asked the question again and someone pins him down in regards to what exactly is his plan to do with these particular programs. So again, President Biden wants to raise the debt by $7 trillion. Guys, that is insane. So anyways, what do you think about this? I would love to get your thoughts on this. If you get an opportunity, comment down below, as well as hit the like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. But outside of all of that, guys, I hope to see you on the next one.